Are you ready for episode 10 of the MSPT podcast presented by Poker News? I am Chad Holloway, joined by former MSPT Player of the Year, KYNA England. And KYNA, we're going to talk Player of the Year because this is the final episode of 2025. Season 16 is over. And as we predicted, that Player of the Year race between Jake Long and Hellmuth Ozturk came down to the wire.
How exciting. I can't believe we've made it through. Well, we started this halfway through the season, but it's like, it's been a journey. Look at us. We made it through a year.
We're also going to talk about the winner from the MSPT Winter Classic at Running Aces in Minnesota. There were a lot of side event winners. We're going to talk about all of the Player of the Year leaderboards that played out. And then we will look ahead to next year, season 17, plus an MSPT Hall of Famer struck it big out there at Las Vegas during the World Poker Tour World Championship. We're going to talk about that. But kind of let's start with the Player of the Year race. Cut through the suspense, Jake Long got it done. 10,395 points, just ahead of Hellmuth Ozturk, 10,255 points. Literally came down to the last side event of season 17. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And like, I guess, we've talked to Jake a few times on this show. We heard that it was really like motivation, I think, from him and Josh and their bet to try and get it done and try and step up his game and like follow all these stops. And you're going to all these stops with all your friends, so it's a good time, and you're trying to win a bunch of money, and he did. So good for him. Good job, Jake. I'm going to say it with like kind of a salty face.
I did the numbers. Jake Long earned $314,604 in season 16. His biggest score, almost $100K, when he finished runner-up to Mike Estes when I took third, if you recall. Then he also had fourth in the MSPT Hollywood St. Louis less than a month later for $45,000. But where he really made his mark was the side events, right? He won
a few of the side events and like didn't win a main. Player of the Year without winning a main. All right, Jake, good job.
I mean, he won two side events at the Winter Poker Classic at Running Aces to pad his Player of the Year points lead. But it wasn't easy because Hellmuth Ozturk, he bagged day one of the main event and made it to day two where he was guaranteed to be in the money and Player of the Year points. I did as well. I was up there. But Jake Long failed to do it. I was there when Jake busted on day 1C. Registration was closed and it was like, oh, damn, Hellmuth has chips. Could he possibly do this? I don't know. It was really the most exciting Player of the Year finish since you and Taylor Howard back in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you got to be up there. I'm sure all those guys being up there together, that it was a great time. Lots of side events to play. I know Hellmuth is from there, so he can like easily play. And it's funny though, because I saw him here in Vegas during the 10K. He made it just in time, I guess, to play the last flight. But yeah, so did he must have skipped out on a few of the side events, right?
No, he was there to the end. It was structured in such a way that they could make it to the very end, because when Jake won, it came down to that final side event. I believe they, so in the final side event, Jake Long busted in 21st place for 13 points. And that was the first in the money spot. Ozturk was still in, and he just needed to finish in at least third place or better, and he would have won Player of the Year for the third year in a row. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for him. His run ended in 9th place. So he literally came 6 spots away from doing it, which is just crazy. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that he must have come here
straight away after it was all done.
Oh, it was already all done? I thought
Yes.
It overlapped a little, like with the end events.
No.
Okay, my bad then. I thought, so, okay, wow, crazy. So, yeah, they all, because I know Josh came in, I saw him on 1C and Hellmuth. So I was just like, like giving him a hug. He's always such a nice guy. But what a fun race. I'm glad you got to be there and see it. And, a few of the notables won some of the side events too. I'm sure we're going to go over that.
Well, yeah, we can go right there. It was Josh Reichard taking down 2 side events of his own. He ended up finishing in 3rd place in the Player of the Year race. He won, he first won event number 11, which was the $300 mixed PLO no limit hold'em monster stack for $8,200, and then a few days later, the $250 no limit hold'em monster stack for another $5,800. So right now, if you look at the gold cards, right? So the side events, any MSPT event with a $200 buy-in or more, you get a gold card. That does include the main events. And Jake, as we mentioned, crushed it on season 16. He won 8 8 side events. He has 8 MSPT gold cards. The next closest to him with 4 is now Josh Reichard, tied with San Diego's Michael Sterick. Those are the only 2 guys with 4. John Farmboy Kerfman and Joseph Saltanovitz. Kerfman with 3, Saltanovitz with 2. Scott Alds and Kevin Duke each have 2 as well, but that's it. Otherwise, everybody else is just at 1. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how much Jake and Josh have been crushing this season.
Yeah, good for them.
And you also had the Icon of the Year race. KYNA, I'm looking, and let's see, you did manage to stay in the top 10.
I did. Woohoo! With the whole 4 MSPTs I played.
You cracked the top 10 leaderboard, 10th place with 1,900 points, but it was Umut Ozturk taking down the Icon of the Year. So he didn't win Player of the Year, but he did take down MSPT Icon of the Year for the back-to-back years. Josh Reichard in second place. He gets a $10,000 main event seat. Jake Long gets a $10,000 main event seat for his season 16 Player of the Year. So both these guys, tight race. They have high respect for one another, and both walking away with a $10,000 main event seat. Not too shabby.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
And then we had the Senior of the Year for season 16. This was launched midway through, so after the WSOP, the MSPT established a Senior POY, which was just earning points in, you guessed it, seniors events. And it was Jeff Copeland, who we've talked about many times, out of St. Louis. He won it with 600 points. Pops, Brett Riker, Josh's dad, was runner-up with 550 points. So that was another tight race that kind of came down there to the last few stops.
Yeah, awesome. Good job, guys.
And let's see.
Wait, so it's like, oh man, it would have been funnier if Josh got second in Player of the Year, because then it would have been like Reichard's in second place.
That's true. So here's this. Josh Reichard, I mentioned, got third in Player of the Year race with 8,696 points, finishing fourth with 5,625 points. You want to guess who that was? Fourth place in MSPT season 16 Player of the Year race.
DJ.
No, DJ was fifth. Pops.
Oh,
Pops bumped up there.
Oh, wow.
So him and Josh, 3 and 4 on that leaderboard. So let's see some of the other winners from the Winter Poker Classic there at Running Aces. We mentioned Jake had 2 wins. Josh had 2 wins. You had brothers Jerome and James Kangas taking down the event number 1, which was a tag team. Geraldo Perez, Steve Verez, BK Ansha. He took down the main event, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. Andrew Pickett. Heidi Rogenkamp was a name I recognize. She took down the ladies' monster stack there at the Running Aces.
Cool.
Patrick Harmon, Leo Fussy, Randy Boucher, Michael Williams, David Gamrant, Tom Bjornstad. He took down the mini-main event. We'll talk about that more in a moment. And Paul Ziegb and David Soderstrom taking down the final event. There were 18 gold cards at this stop, as we talked about. So let's talk main event, KYNA. I was there. I made day 2 on 1 bullet. I rolled in Thursday night, late registered it, ordered some drinks, as I like to do, and put some chips in a bag. It was only like 20 bigs, but it was 1 bullet.
Good job. Okay, you know what? Anytime somebody brags about 1 bullet, do you know what comes into my mind is that Borat scene where he's like, I have a chair, king of the castle. Like, it's just like, okay, cool. You're cooler than us. You saved $1,000.
Oh, that is funny. The main event ended up attracting, let me pull up my stats here. It was a big turnout because I remember on day 1 we were really impressed with how many there was. So 838 total runners. I returned for day 2 and 94 players did. You want to guess how I did, KYNA?
54th.
I wish. I lasted like all of 15 minutes.
Oh, I thought I remember trying to channel the picture that I saw.
No, I busted in 92nd place for a min cash, flopped a set of 9, somebody flopped a flush. Like I said, I had less than 20 bigs, so it went in. We didn't pair the board, but it was a fun tournament nonetheless. Now, some players who did go deep in this one, our boy Josh Reichard, who we just talked about, just missed out on the final table. He finished in 11th place. You had Pops, hit Pops right on his heels, 14th place. So those guys going deep. Jeff Copeland, who we just mentioned, 24th place. Jay Phillips, 29th. Rob Wazwaz, 34th. But going to the final table, there was some big names there in terms of MSPT royalty. Blake Bone, he is an MSPT Hall of Famer. I think he has 5 titles to his name. He ended up bowing out in 8th place. You had Kou Vang. So here's a fun thing about Kou. Kou, MSPT Hall of Famer, one of the OGs, dates all the way back to season 1. He ended up finishing in 2nd place, so he just missed out on his 5th MSPT title, I believe it would have been. And he won $114,000 as part of a heads-up deal with BK Ansha, who got $139,000. But here's the thing about Kou, is this put Kou over the 7-figure mark in MSPT earnings, just the 2nd player ever in history to do it. Do you know who the first person and the only other MSPT millionaire is?
I think you tested me on this last time, and it's Richie Alsop.
It is Richie Alsop. He's been on there for a while, but now, as of right now, at the end of 2025, it is Kou Vang atop the MSPT's all-time money list with $1,015,242. Rich Alsop, 2nd place, was $1,014,051. So less than $1,200. A min cash separates these two at this point.
There you go. What a race. That's fun.
And looking at the list too, Blake Bone, he is just less than $23,000 away from the millionaire mark. Josh Reichard, less than $95,000. Umut Ozturk, about $120,000. All these guys very well could get there in season 17.
Nice. Well, good luck. I guess it'll be a fun race to watch again next year. Da, da, da.
And without looking at the MSPTpoker.com, KYNA, can you guess, through 16 seasons now, how much prize money the MSPT has awarded in its history?
$215 million.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty close guess. And they did pass that mark throughout the season. Right now, at the end of 2025, $233,517,935 awarded to date.
Wow. How cool. Series has only been going what are we in, 20 seasons now? 20? No.
Season 17. Season 17 is coming up.
You just said it. Yes, you just said it. I'm out of it. I mean, it's Monday. It's Christmas. It's like the week when you have to work the week of Christmas. You know, you're just like, here I am. Sweatshirt, green screen, headphones.
I mean, yeah, debuted as the Minnesota State Poker Tour back in 2009. I think in December. There was only like one stop that first year. And then, it's grown ever since. I mentioned the mini main event there. This was the last premier event of the stop. It wasn't the last tournament to finish, but they did remember the main event the first weekend so that people could travel to WSOP Paradise or to WPT World Championship. And then they held the mini main, the $400 mini main, which is like the regional, until the end. That got 1,025 runners. Josh Reichard, another deep run in that, 23rd place. So he keeps on crushing it. But ultimately, it was Tom Bjornstad out of Iowa taking it down for $58,000. Shout out to Tom Stambaugh. He took 3rd for $25K. Tom Stambaugh is an old school MSPT player who I think stepped away from the game for a couple of years. This was his first tournament back and navigates this huge field, finishes 3rd, turns $400 into $25K.
Nice. Wow. Pretty exciting.
And let's see, I'm looking at the article on PokerNews.com, my final recap that I wrote for the season. I think we covered everything from that article, but I do want to talk about something very exciting that took place out there in Las Vegas. That is the WPT World Championship, where they had the WPT Prime. This is an $1,100 premier event. Some people call it the best mid-stakes tournament in the world. It got 9,876 runners, awarded close to $10,000 in the prize pool, including just over $1 million to the winner. And it was our boy, who we just talked about not long ago because he won an MSPT title in season 16. He's an MSPT Hall of Famer, Minnesota's Aaron Johnson, taking down this event, KYNA.
Yeah, that was super exciting. So I didn't play the Prime because it just doesn't line up with my schedule. It's really long. It's like kind of madness. But I was sweating some friends. So I think it was day 3 I went over there because that might have been this. I was over there for something. I can't remember. But I was looking around at the people left, and I saw Liam out there. And I was like, damn, Liam, there's a lot of Midwest people in here. And Liam just like going around pointing them all out. He's like, oh, yeah, look. I mean, there was just like Rich Alsop, I think, was still in it. Angelo was in it. I can't name them off the top of my head, but a lot of the MSPT grinders were in there doing it, like day 3 and day 4. And
Yeah.
Aaron got it done. Sponsored by Panda Express this time. I saw.
I was just gonna talk about the hat. I am wearing a new hat, as you can see, an MSPT hat that I picked up at Running Aces from the Tilted Compass guys, which we'll talk more about in a minute too. But I was like, all right, he's got a Panda Express hat. What did he have on when he won the MSPT? Was it eBay?
eBay, yeah. And actually, I think on day 3 or something, or was day 4? It was when they stopped with 6 people left. He was wearing the eBay hat. I think I saw him with it on, but he went with Panda Express and won $1 million, 1.1 million, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, just over $1 million, like one.
Just over $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
well, sick tournament to win, man. Good job, Aaron. Like, I like him. He's so nice. He's quiet, but he's always really, upbeat and cool about playing and everything.
Yeah, you had some legends in his winner's photo. Kou Vang was there, Mike Lang, Josh Reichard, of course, was there. So just to see him get it done, it only took 29 hands to go from the final table of 6 down to the final 2. And Aaron Johnson was at a big chip disadvantage against Fernando Martin del Campo, but battled back and took this one down. I mean, there's all kinds of tweets on social media congratulating him. Like, he's our hometown hero, right? And like, he's winning one of the most prestigious events of the year.
Yeah, pretty sick to see your Midwest homies do big things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember too. I mean, I know he's not a Midwest guy, but when Scott Stewart won the 10K last year too, it felt like like one of the hometown guys, like one of the circuit grinders. Just doing it out there, winning these big events. Pretty sick.
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, too. Like, so when I came back for day 2 at Running Aces, I mentioned, Aaron was to my left, direct left.
Oh, so he's still there.
Yeah. He ended up with like a min casher thereabouts, too. But like, it was cool, said hi, good to see him. We didn't play long because I busted, but it was just cool to have Aaron at my table. It sucks to have him on my left because he is such a force to be reckoned with. And I'm glad that he's going to get some, we know him in the Midwest. We know him on the MSPT. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a crusher, and he has been. But in terms of like the world stage, this was a really big score, 7-figure score for him. So.
Well, I saw too, and I noticed in that article you posted all of the Player of the Years back from the beginning. And Aaron actually did win Player of the Year 1 year too, and he has the WPT title now, a big one. Josh also won a Player of the Year, and he has the WPT title. So who will be next? Yeah,
that is true, and I did forget about that. It was, let's see, I'm looking back, Aaron Johnson, MSPT Player of the Year in 2018. So just really happy to see it. Congratulations, Aaron. Let's talk. I mentioned the hat, which I really like. It's rare for me to find a hat that will fit me, but did you notice the hoodie as well? This is you right there.
That's us!
There's your wine. There's me looking good.
Oh, man. First time I wear the sweatshirt, I'm going to have to straighten my hair, and I'll look like that. And I'm wearing my Tilted Compass hoodie, too. Is that what I have on in the hoodie? And then there you go.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait.
And this is right here. You got MSPT, and it's on the back. It says Tilted Compass. So Kyle hooked me up with this at Running Aces. He was able to print it right there, which I thought was great. And I think in season 17, we're going to work something out with Tilted Compass where maybe they make some more MSPT podcast hoodies for the fans out there. And then, of course, they can order great merchandise, hats, hoodies, backpacks right now, kind of. But if they do, what should they use?
Well, I actually just want to plug my own little commercial is that, last minute Christmas gifts were hard. I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I ordered all my friends and family Tilted Compass hoodies using code KYNA for 15% off, and they're just great. They've got I think he's kind of limited on his selection now because of the holidays and everything, but hopefully they'll be back with some more, and the backpacks are great. So if you want to check it out, it's Tilted-Compass. Use code KYNA for 15% off and put it in the description tag.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. It's very comfortable, very cold here in the Midwest lately, so it has been keeping me warm. We'll have to see about doing some giveaways in future episodes. Speaking of the future, KYNA, this is the last episode of 2025. We will be back in 2026, and it'll be right off the bat because January 1st, New Year's Day, it will start and then go through January 4th is the first event of season 17 out there in Vegas, the Venetian, this $1,600 New Year's Poker Open. $500,000 guarantee. I don't know if you're going to play, but you at least got to go there and make some appearances, right?
I'm going to play. Our office for work is closed until I think the 5th. So I have that week to go ahead and fire one. or two and not like brag about it. But yeah, I love it when it's at the Venetian because the Venetian structure is the only one that's different out of all of them too. So it's a little less like rapid firing bullets. It's a little more like, okay, we're playing a tournament at the Venetian, which comes with the title. So it's nice.
There are a ton of stops for season 17. So I mentioned the Venetian will kick off there. Then January 8th through the 19th, the Golden State Poker Championship at Saigon Casino, which is in San Diego. Bally's Blackhawk, which we've talked about. That's a place we both want to get back to.
I think I am going to go because I was looking at my Pen Cash or my Pen Play app because I go to M all the time and that's Pen Play and I earned status. And so I have some Ameristar comps. So I think I am going to go if I can like just make the drive out there. So yeah. And Blackhawk is by far the prettiest stop. I mean, Saigon is nice too because of the resort. Like the resort is shishi, but Blackhawk, you're like in the mountains. The air is different, right? As long as the weather is permitting. January, we'll see. But I'm going to try and get out to that one too. And then after that is Arizona, right? For the first time ever.
Yeah, that's right. The first major, the Diamond Poker Championship, first major of 2026 season 17, January 24th through February 1st at Talking Stick. Great resort. I've only been there once. I traveled down when I was living in Vegas. Amazing room, massive, $1 million guarantee. This is going to be, I think, a huge stop. I talked to Brian and others. I want to talk to Poker News and see about getting us down there. You, me, producer Adam, because I feel like this needs to be where we do our first in-person show from a venue because I think it's just going to be massive. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. I'm trying to get travel set up for that too. So, again, it's just like got to be like a 2 or 3 hour drive from here. So
right, and maybe I fly into Vegas, rent a car, drive down because then I can stick around. February 4th through the 7th is the $1,600 Poker Bowl, $1 million guarantee back at the Venetian. Now I like this one because little history lesson for you out there. I was with the MSPT as media director, live reporter when we debuted the Poker Bowl at the Venetian. This will be the 10th edition of the Poker Bowl, which I just think is crazy that they've already been 10 of them. But the idea was in the past, there were some premier poker events on the schedule. Obviously, the World Series of Poker. You had like the Diamond Jim Brady. You had the Four Queens. And then there was also Amarillo Slim's Super Bowl of Poker. And this was a great, prestigious event. The name had been lingering. And I kind of said to Brian at the time, like, hey, what about like the Super Bowl of Poker? There's so much name brand there. I know Amarillo Slim has passed away, but maybe there's something we can do with that. And so we looked into it. We really wanted to do like a Super Bowl of Poker, but the NFL makes it really tough to use the term Super Bowl in this day and age. So that was out, but a little more tinkering, and Brian came up with the Poker Bowl, which I think is great. So,
and it's always the same weekend as the Super Bowl, right? So when we're going to play the Poker Bowl, we're going to watch the Bears win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Right.
I was just going to ask you, who do you think mine, my beloved Dolphins are out of it. It's time for more years of pain and rebuilding. But who you liking? The Bears just beat the Green Bay Packers. So
the Bears are going to do it this year. They're going to do it. They're number one in their division. That was a sicko game the other day when the Bears beat the Packers. A great finish. Very exciting. They're doing, I'm excited. I'm not like, I know I like football. I like to watch football, but it's like makes it more exciting when your home team is doing well, So hopefully we get to see them do it out there.
I'm going to pick, let's see, I'm going to go with, I think the Packers will squeak in there, but man, their injuries have added up. Micah Parsons is out. I could see the Bears doing something, especially if they get that home game there at Soldier Field. But I do like the Rams. I think the Rams are going to get in as a wild card. They're dangerous.
Yeah.
So
people were saying Rams, like I heard that thrown around too. But no, the Bears are going to do it.
We'll have to see. We might be in Vegas watching it during the Poker Bowl. And then you've got a bunch of other stops coming up. There'll be another major at Potawatomi Casino, Milwaukee in February. Then they're actually going to be back in Milwaukee right at the end of April into May, so right before the WSOP, which I'm excited about. Having two MSPTs literally an hour down the road from me is something that gets me pretty excited. They're going to be back at the Ameristar East Chicago. They're going to be back at Running Aces, Firekeepers, Jack's Cleveland, Grand Falls, Riverside Casino, but in St. Louis, an interesting change. They are moving from the Hollywood Casino over to the Ameristar Casino, St. Charles, down there in St. Louis for the Missouri Poker State Championship, March 24th to the 29th.
I actually heard another rumor, but I'm not sure if we're allowed to say it yet. So maybe we'll keep that one for a secret. Another staff change.
Oh, you'll have to let me know off the air because I don't know what you're referring to. And yeah.
Yeah, it's an exciting one. I think that people are really going to like if it is true, but I have just heard whisperings of it from some folks around town. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting new season. Here we go again. Let's do it all over again. Play the video.
All right, one big stop you may have noticed on during that video was major news from the MSPT that was announced mid-December. You can mark your calendars. The MSPT is headed to Florida. They've been there before at Best Bet Jacksonville, but this time it's South Florida, the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. It is going to be the MSPT Major at Rock and Roll Poker Open, the RRPO, which has a prestigious name, MSPT RRPO, joining forces November 18th through December 2nd. So it's going to be towards the end of season 17. $3,500 main event.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thanksgiving stuff. That's fun. I like the Seminole. I like it. I don't like Florida that much, but I do like the Hard Rock. So hopefully we can get back to it, and I'm sure that would be a great stop. To 3,500, that's like that's competing with some other tours there too. So that should be exciting.
The WPT used to go to Seminole a lot, and they still do, but I think this MSPT is kind of getting their opportunity. So hopefully all the MSPT faithfuls head out there. And also, part of this is the MSPT announced they're going to have a seat into the MSPT Championship. That's what this is going to be called, the MSPT Championship at the RRPO. They're adding a $3,500 seat to all winners in every main event in 2026 leading up to that RRPO. So I think that's really cool because if you're a champion, you get a free seat, you're going to go down there. So we're going to see all the winners from season 17 go down and battle in this MSPT championship.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I'll try and win one. I'll probably win the one in Arizona.
I'm going to be like, look, it's football season in November, December. Let's fingers crossed that the Dolphins game is around that same time, and I will make it a vacation for myself.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah.
And then the last bit of business I want to talk about is the MSPT World Rankings. Right now, I am looking at the end of 2025. Umut Ozturk is on top with 190 points. Josh Reichard, 134 points in second. Jake Long, 125 in third. If you remember, the top 64 finishers on the world rankings at the end of season 17, so it will be at the Running Aces this time next year, there will be a special free roll, a 64-person heads-up tournament, which I think could be pretty cool too, and good motivation to try to climb the world rankings, because kind of right now you're in 183rd. You got a ways to go.
All right. I haven't played one in like months. I was like I was in the low hundreds for a little while, okay? But I had a good start to 2016, and then I just, we'll see.
I'm in 111th, so I got a ways to go as well. And you could have a good start this year. Like we mentioned, the Venetian stop right away. So you go there, final table, maybe win that baby, and you'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely be all of the stops that are around here. And like January, February stops are easy for me to go to. So we'll see. It's going to be exciting. Got to make it through the holidays. Happy New Year. Season 17. Let's go.
Yeah, we will be back in 2026 after that New Year's Poker Open at the Venetian. It'll be the next thing that we cover. KYNA heading into the new year. Any big New Year's resolutions? Are you excited for the new year? Was 2025 kind to you? Give us the lowdown.
I have been a bit of a degenerate. I'm not going to lie in 2025, and I'm going to try and rein that in a little bit, and maybe less slots, more poker, get back to playing some more stops, traveling a little more, really giving poker a little bit more of a go, because I've been so focused on playing slots and like trying to grind and do all these free play things that, we change directions every once in a while. I'm still a degenerate, so I still have to gamble, but
yeah, I
try and be a little better at poker.
I seen you just won a little bit on a slot. I don't know.
Every day I get a hand pay or something. It doesn't mean I won, but I try. I like it. It's fun, and it's like you have a big jackpot. It's a little more incentive to just like, hey, I fired some big tournaments. I played a little bit more slots than I normally would have, but I'm gonna try and rein it in January. So less slot content from KYNA. You'll see.
Well, for myself, 2025 was a great year on a lot of different levels, personally and even professionally, but I didn't play a ton of poker. I did finish third at Riverside, which was great, but in comparison to years past, I played a minimal amount of poker, and I want to see that change in 2026. So I'm going to play probably a few more MSPTs, travel a little bit more, and, maybe even get back in those cash game streets a little bit, because it's been too long.
What about the reality shows?
Well, I'm going to keep applying, and, fingers crossed that, my phone will ring. But, we'll have to see. And, of course, we will be back with the MSPT podcast every other week throughout 2026, throughout season 17. We appreciate you all tuning in and supporting us through the first 10 episodes. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, give us the 5-star review. It does help with the algorithm. And if you're watching this, know that we also have the audio-only version, so you can subscribe on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. All those subscriptions really add up as well. So KYNA, it's been fun. It's been a great 2025, a great 10 episodes, and I look forward to doing this with you more in the new year.
Yeah, me too. Happy holidays to you, and happy holidays to all of our viewers, and happy new year. Wishing you the best. See you in 2026.
I am Chad Holloway. She's KYNA England, and the podcast, like the MSPT, is suited for players.